Oh yeah, we're live, and I could not be more excited for TennisCon and to kick it off with Mehrban, my buddy, and my other buddy, B2. B2's like in the cockpit today. Mehrban, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic already, but now that I'm streaming with you, even more fantastic. Really enjoy speaking with you and talking tennis. So really excited.
Okay, well, things are going too good. I want to end that. I want to end that right now because, as you know, every time we go live, I stump you with a song that you should know. That's a piece of classic, our culture as people who love music, and you just don't seem to know anything about anybody. So I am going to, like, if you don't know this one, Mehrban, if you don't know this one, I don't even know what to tell you. Guys, as soon as you know it, first of all, say hello. I see people coming in. This is super exciting. All right, so this is the challenge of the day. And I think you should know it like first little bar here. Ding the buzzer when you know.
Eye of the tiger.
Mehrban has done it!
I did it. This is the first time that I guessed it right in like, what, 10 tries?
This is your first time.
Yeah.
See, I'm getting ready for TennisCon.
Yeah. It's a great song, man. Great song. Great workout song. Great morning song. Everything.
Yes. Mehrban has done it. Scott is on. Hello, Scott. It's good to see you. If you're just joining us for the first time ever, Mehrban was able to pick one of the songs I played for him. We did this little trivia thing. Take it easy on Mehrban. No, it's too fun not to take it easy on him.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you.
But yeah, so happy that he got that because he was on a real losing streak. Didn't know the Eagles. Didn't know Billy Joel. Didn't even know a Prince song. I think he like didn't know Purple Rain or something. I don't know what you didn't know. It's crazy. But anyway, they're saying take it easy on you. They think I'm too tough on you.
You are, but it makes me stronger in some ways. But I also appreciate Keeter, having my back. Thank you.
Yeah. This is B2. If you guys, I don't know, who's on, who knows me, who doesn't know me. I had Barkley for about 14 years, and Barkley was my buddy. I mean, I love dogs. I don't know about you guys, but we have a new puppy, so I call him B2, and he's about 7 months old, and he's in the cockpit today. Most of the songs we played are before Mehrban's time. I know. I don't like that because that makes me feel old. Yeah.
It's all in the mind, Peter.
It's all in the mind. Well, look what we have here. We got just people coming in already. 70 people on. And looking forward to TennisCon 4. He studied law, not music. Right.
Wow, I love this chat. All you guys are great.
Everybody's defending you.
Yeah, thank you.
I think they view me as like the mean older brother and you as like the lovable younger brother or something.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's accurate.
So today we're gonna basically be going over TennisCon. Now's your chance to be asking questions about how it works. If there's anything that is confusing about it, or you're wondering what it's going to be like and how it all works, that's why we're here today. I'm also going to be picking out, which is really, really hard to do, my top 5 favorite lessons of TennisCon, which really, I mean, it could just change by the hour. But there are some that I really, really loved, maybe a little more than others. And so we're going to be talking about that today. Yeah.
Yeah, we're excited. Yeah, it's totally normal. There's so many great presentations, but there's certain ones that really stand out. And I feel the same way, when I have my summits, but I'm really excited. I mean, I've looked at the agenda already, Pete, and, it's just amazing to be able to watch all these lessons in that span of time and or longer if you choose to. But really excited to learn. We're going to really be educating everybody today with this session. So, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, me too. And by the way, I just want to commend Mehrban on the tennis summit that he does. Make sure when that comes around again next year that you check it out and are all over it, because he does a phenomenal job with that. And so it's fun that we can kind of do this together. You've got the spring, I got the fall, and they've got the love for the tennis.
Yeah, pretty much, man. Pretty much. I mean, do you want to hop in straight into it, to the 5 lessons, or is there anything else you want to talk about?
Well, right. I just want to, I guess, a couple of things. Mm-hmm. And guys, if you have questions, and maybe Mehrban, if you see questions come in, let me know. But I just want to explain overall how TennisCon works. And Mehrban can even put his link in if you do not have. So Mehrban, get your link. If you do not have your free pass to TennisCon yet, Mehrban's going to put that in right now. And so put that in there, and I'll also click on the link when I see it. Let me know when it's in there, and we'll just kind of walk you through the page so I can explain what it is and how it works. I think that's important if anybody just doesn't know how, because I just want to be transparent so everybody knows what goes on with TennisCon and what they're going to see and how long they can see it for. So Mehrban's getting that link. And
yeah, it's interesting. I think with YouTube, like for whatever reason, when I put tennis files, it won't go through for some reason. But I'll get the normal one. It's okay.
Go get the you know what? I'll just basically get it on my screen too here, just to walk you guys through this.
Yeah, it's a great time though. I mean, you know, I'm excited. Like I think the first day, like there's all these serve presentations, serve power. I mean, that's something that I've been trying to improve in my game too, like getting more MPHs on my serve and everything. And like, I'm going to be watching these sessions for sure. It's going to be great.
Well, that's the thing that I love about this is, you know, first of all, these are the best instructors on the planet. Like I know a lot of things can be overstated in life or exaggerated. They literally are. And one thing that just impresses me every year, and I'm sure Mehrban, you probably feel the same way, is no one mails in their lesson. No one goes, well, you know, it's not for me, it's for Pete or whatever, and I'm just gonna everybody gives 100% on their lesson and goes into super detail. Like it's amazing. I'm just humbled by it. I'm sure you feel the same way about your stuff too, right?
Oh yeah, I totally do. I mean, I'm the same, you know, especially with the relationship that we have, Pete. You know, like when I'm making something for this event, I mean, it's just really important event, and also you're hosting it, so you want to put in the best effort, you know, so that you can show that you have great content to everybody and to help them. So yeah, I mean, all of these are going to be great quality for sure.
Yeah. So this is the page where you can sign up on. You know, you can go to, I'm sure you've gotten some emails from Mehrban or myself. You can sign up and you get 48 hours free access to each day. So like I was talking to Gigi Fernandez about this and she didn't quite understand it. She's like, so wait, so like after Wednesday, they don't get to watch, they get Monday and Tuesday, and then the rest is they have to pay for it. I'm like, no, every day, Monday, they get to watch it till Wednesday morning, then it goes away. You know, Tuesday, they get to watch till Thursday morning, then it goes away. So they get to watch each and every day. So when you sign up, you get to watch every day for 48 hours. And then if you want a lifetime access pass, you can get that. And then you own it forever. That's the way it works. Let me know if you see any questions. And then each day has got a different theme. And the whole TennisCon event has a theme. This year's theme is about just bigger, right? We want to hit bigger, better. We want better technique. Basically, I do a survey every year, and this is what everybody gravitated towards this year. So Jeff's got an amazing lesson on the kick serve on Monday. This guy Ryan is really, really good. It's about serving faster. He does a great lesson. Thomas from Feel in Tennis, which we've never had him before, he does a great lesson on clutch serving. Really, really great. He's so thorough. This is a new pro that I noticed doing an amazing job on YouTube, Jordan. He teaches, I don't know how many hours a week still on court. Like he's super busy. I love Racket Flex. They do such a great job with their detail, and they're so athletic. Like they literally look like you're watching Federer. Like they have perfect form. Brady from Daily Tennis Lesson is going to be on Monday. I'm going to be on Monday. That's an encore performance on my slice. We got equipment lessons pretty much every day from Tennis Express. So they're going to go over their top 6 rackets for 2020. And so you get to watch that for 48 hours. Does that make sense to everybody? And then if you want your pass, you can get that. But I'm going to stop sharing screen. Has any questions come through? Does everybody seem like they get that? You there, Mehrban?
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Did that all look good and make sense?
Yeah, it looks good. I mean, it's great that you're clarifying. Obviously, like you're going to get, from each day, when a session is published, you get 48 hours after that to watch. And then, if you want lifetime access, then you can pick that up, the pass. And yeah, it's exciting just to see all those presentations. And I mean, there's quite a few people that are, different from my schedule too, and for mine. And so it's really cool to see all the, very established, amazing people, but also those that are coming up and who have great content to share as well. So it's really a great mix.
Yeah, I noticed there's lots of new YouTube channels and lots of great content. Like, for example, there's one to watch. I almost put him in my top 5. Very, very close. But he did not make the cut. But I'm like, this is definitely an honorable mention. I'm going to put this back on the screen here. Add the stream. And I just love this one. Top Tennis Training. They have like, I don't know how many, 200. I think they're over like 230 now, 230,000 subscribers. Sports Ed TV. Steven on the two-hander. I wanted to make sure that we cover every possible thing. Everybody wanted more technique this year. So Tuesday is especially a big day. And this guy right here, don't miss this one. Most of you probably never heard of Ashley. He's from England. He actually decided to start a YouTube channel during COVID. And
wow.
I watched one of his videos on YouTube and I was blown away. First of all, he just looks phenomenal. He's a phenomenal player. He's so well detailed in his explanations. He's got creative drills. And he also, I think because it's like a hobby of his, I guess, he's really great with the camera. He shows a lot of really cool camera angles and makes things crystal clear and just really engaging to watch. So make sure on Tuesday, you definitely check out this guy because you probably have not seen him before. Let's see who else is on Tuesday. Online tennis instruction. Again, this is a great one on the drop shot.
Greg's awesome.
And if you watched the French Open this year, you can see like it's all about hitting big, but that's the thing too. It's like the bigger you can hit a shot, the more effective that drop shot gets because your competition starts to drop behind the baseline. And then you can start to see, okay, they're back, they're on their heels. Instead of having to hit another blasting shot, a drop shot will do it. Like even look at Nick Kyrgios, how sometimes he pretty much hits like a drop shot serve. So yeah, that's a really good lesson. And we've got this guy's another kind of new. Do you know Hammer Tennis? Mehrban?
I haven't heard of him until I looked at your at the agenda, so I hadn't.
Yeah, he's really, really good. Then we've got a coach from Italy, very thorough lesson. He basically really explains, when to come into the net, what shots to come into the net, what angle you want to play, where you want to hit your volley, very detailed. DeVore from the Tennis House, he's more like on coaches a lot of the coaches. And I think like his Facebook platform, I don't want to speak out of tune here, but I mean, he might even have does he have over 100,000 followers on Facebook? It's something ridiculous. I might be overdoing that, but he's got a ton.
Yeah, he has a lot.
And then look who that is. There you are.
Who is that?
That's you.
Is that a suit?
You did good. So tell us about your lesson.
Yeah, sure. Happy to. Obviously, Pete and I talked about what I could contribute, and he felt that offensive topspin lobs is something that's really great to integrate into your game, and it's obviously something that can throw off your opponents, especially if they're crowding the net. And so, in that lesson, I'll walk you through the strategy behind it, when and when not to use it, as well as the technique. And I'm actually showing you, the technique step by step on how to hit a proper and effective offensive topspin lob. So I think you'll have fun watching that for sure, and hope you enjoy that one. And another reason to join TennisCon and check it all out. So that's pretty much the lesson.
Yeah, and then I wanted to stop here because probably a lot of people don't know who that guy is. That's Kevin O'Neill. And certainly I think most people today know who Coco Gauff is. She's like the biggest star out there, right now. She's super hot. And Kevin coaches Katie McNally, who is Coco's doubles partner. Last year, they went really deep at the U.S. Open. I think they might even got to the quarterfinals or something like that. And Katie is a young 18. She just turned 18. She actually was part of like TennisCon 1 or 2. They did a return to serve lesson together when she was probably 14 or 15. Now she's on the tour. Last year, she took Serena Williams to 3 sets. This year, I think she made 3rd or 4th round, which was kind of quiet. People didn't really make a big a deal about it as I think they should have. She made 3rd or 4th round this year at the U.S. Open. So look out for her. And we talk about smart power. Like on the tour, it's clearly a power game. So we talk about like when do you use your power and how do you use your power so that you're, not being too defensive, but you're also not, hitting stupid shots. So
that's right.
That is that.
Hey Pete, do you want to click off of David's comment as much as I like his comment? Because it's blocking some of the screen, I noticed.
Oh, okay. Yes. Let me come back. Let me come back. Thank you for that.
It's a good comment though. I just, so that
I can't. So he's so far up the line. I can't find him.
Oh, this is a cool graphic right now.
How do I, there it is.
There you go. Oh, then you got his Eisenhower comment.
Now we're there.
There you go.
Anyway, I'll come back. Do we have any questions so far in my top 5 list for everybody?
Just some really nice hellos. I think Jen and Craig. Hello, Craig from Performance Plus Tennis. Always great to see you.
Oh yeah.
Aaron. Yeah, we've got a lot of great people on here. No questions yet, though. Feel free to ask.
Cool. Sure. All right. Well, I'm going to go into my top 5, and I'm going to try and play a clip to start off here because this one's really, really cool. So, who out there has heard of Top Court? Anybody out there heard of Top Court? Yeah, Mehrban's heard of Top Court. Mehrban, what do you know about Top Court?
Top Court is a really cool platform where they get a lot of top pros on their site to actually teach you tennis lessons. And there's also some in-depth interviews and things like that, but they have a lot of really cool people on there. Paul Anacone and Taylor Fritz and Jeannie Bouchard and Sloane Stevens, a lot of great people. And so, it's a cool site where you can get instruction from the best players in the world and coaches. So pretty cool. Yeah.
So earlier this week, I sent an email about the Bryan brothers. This is one of the neat. So the Top Court is part of TennisCon, and I did hold on, let me just turn that off. I did an interview with Top Court yesterday, and this lady, Ryan, she gave us 10 amazing quick tips from the Top Court platform. And so the Bryan brothers talked about that this one chemistry killer, it's going to be very interesting. They're so good. It was the reason why they lost 100 matches on the tour. It's like we probably can blame this one thing we did on losing 100 matches, which I thought was really interesting. So I'm going to play that for you guys right here. So we're going to add it to the stream. And I'm going to come here. And this is Ryan. And let me know if I blow this up and make it full screen, if you can, if they can see it.
Yeah, I mean, we're on the side, but yes, it's full screen otherwise. Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
From the Bryan brothers, first clip I'm going to show you is regarding doubles communication. So the Bryan brothers really in this clip talk about how in tough times during a match, it's actually best not to coach your partner, contrary to popular belief, and just kind of support them along the way, and really just the importance of encouraging your partner to swing out in tight situations. So if you give me a second, I'm going to show you this clip.
All right, I see it there. All right. Add it to the stream.
Good to go?
Yes.
With us, he doesn't want me to be the leader and tell him what to do. So often with our relationship, less is more. And so when we're playing our best, sometimes we just shut up. And if he's missing a few returns, I can see his face. If he's a little insecure and nervous.
Yeah, it's best not to coach in those moments when your partner is struggling. It's best not to tell him, hey, man, get up on your serve or do this or that. It's best to tell them, like, go for it. You want to free your partner up when they're tight. So a lot of times it'd be like, hey, man, go for it, miss it here, and if they do miss it, hey, that's great contact, keep letting it fly. So you just want to encourage them to be loose and stay aggressive when they start to get tight.
You never want to roll your eyes. We've had that. Or Bob looks over and he misses, and I roll my eyes. Or we call it sniping. He'll miss a volley. I'm like, damn it, you want to stick your volley, and that doesn't go well. And it's cost us probably 100 matches on tour where we just lose our chemistry. And so we're always dancing a thin line because our twin relationship is always teetering, because you never want to hear your brother, say something negative.
Yeah, our chemistry is our greatest weapon, but it's also our worst enemy. Sometimes when it goes bad hardcore. And then when it's going well, we're like one force coming at the team, and we're unbeatable.
There you go.
I love that so much. That is so good. Thank you for sharing that. That was one of my favorites. I just thought that was so great, and to hear them talk. Okay, how'd that play through, Mehrban?
I heard it very well. Yeah, it sounded good. Played reasonably well. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that tip, because I think we've all been there. We've been on the receiving end. I remember my dad, and he didn't even know I would be looking up or what an effect it had on me. My dad certainly was not like a traditional tennis parent. He didn't push me into tennis. He wasn't, abusive in any way. But one of the memories that I would have, especially because a lot of the tournaments I played were inside, so he probably didn't even know I'd look up at that moment, but I'd like to come to the net a lot, and he'd be up, above looking down at the court, and, I'd miss an easy volley, and I'd look up and I'd just see him do something like, and it would just devastate me. I would be like, oh my gosh, he's watching me feeling what I thinking I suck out here. So it does really, our confidence is so fragile on the court. So I thought that was interesting that they're saying it's like their biggest weapon, but it's also like, they're so vulnerable on that too, because it's like so personal, their family.
Yeah, 100%. We do have some questions right now as I wipe my head. There was one question which I kind of typed in, but you can probably expound upon, which is I think from Tracy and Pino, which is, are there any mental toughness experts and sessions for TennisCon 4?
Yes, another honorable mention that I was going to put in on the list, and we'll go to Wednesday too. We'll go down to Wednesday. I think I stopped on Tuesday. Jeff Greenwald is one of the best players in the world over 50. And he is one of the world leaders in sports psychology. And he leads off Wednesday. And his is all about being the Zen warrior. Like, you know, sometimes when we think about Zen, we think about maybe too, I don't know, fragile or whatever. But he talks about how to, you know, be at peace with yourself, but go to war, like go to battle. And, you know, that's a good combination that I think a lot of great athletes have had. I remember when we came up with that title, Zen Warrior, for his talk, it reminded me of Phil Jackson talking about that Michael Jordan was the peaceful warrior. Like when you watch Michael Jordan, I mean, you definitely think warrior, and you don't necessarily even think peaceful. Like he definitely had a chip on his shoulder and always had something to prove if somebody got him at something. But what Phil meant by that is he wasn't afraid to play in the moment. He wasn't afraid to let the game come to him. He didn't force things. And if he lost, even though he hated to lose, he could handle the result of losing. It's not like he was okay with losing and didn't try to win the next time, but he wasn't afraid to let it all out there. And that's kind of what that talk is about. That's a great question. Any other question?
No. Yeah. So let's see. So Douglas says specifically, what do you say or do when your partner is melting down?
I think it's a lot of reassurance. I think that one thing that we make a mistake of is just leaving our partner alone. And then the other big mistake we made, which the Bryan brothers kind of talked about, is wanting to fix what they're doing wrong. Like seeing like, oh, you're doing this wrong. Let me tell you how to do it right. You're hitting this shot there. You should be hitting it there. And especially because a lot of online students know probably a lot more than their partner, because even though you're a 3.5, you're a different type of 3.5 to me, because most people on this call study the game a lot. And you probably know a lot more about like Will Hamilton's plays and you know, all these different things that you know, if your partner would listen to you, it could probably help them. But it's hard to hear sometimes when you're in the heat of battle. And we're also sensitive as players. So what they were talking about reminded me a lot of when I played with Mark Woodford at the Tennis Fantasy Camp. Normally, I'd be in a car right now driving down to Tennis Fantasy to launch this whole tennis con from there. And one year I played in it, and I got to play a fantasy match with Mark Woodford against Rick Leach and another college coach. And awesome. I was so nervous. And right away, Mark Woodford, and you've probably heard me say this before, he led by following. He would ask me where I wanted to hit. You know, what's your favorite serve? Where do you like to do this? How do you like to do that? It was never like, hey, I've won this many Grand Slams. If you hit over there, I know we'll win the point. He always asked me what I wanted to do. And then when he wanted me to go for a certain shot, he would say, like, it reminded me of what the Bryan brothers said. When the Bryan brothers said, go ahead, you know, miss this shot. It's okay. He said, why don't you have a go down the line this time and have fun? So I thought, oh, he's giving me the green light to go for it. It's like almost like in tennis, he's giving me the green light to shoot a 3-pointer or something like that. And if I make it, it's awesome. And if I miss it, it's no big deal. And that just allowed me to play so free. I mean, I could be super nervous. And to be able to have that little doubles match, which is obviously a fantasy of mine, to be able to play that relaxed the whole time and just really be in the moment, enjoy it, was a gift that Mark Woodford gave me that I'll never forget. It was really, really cool. And if he acted any other way, if he acted like he didn't want to be there, or if he started directing me to do certain things, I could have easily freaked out. No doubt. All right. Any other questions?
Not that I see. Oh, actually, yes. So actually, let's go with this. We did have some questions about like the dates and, you know, when the presentations will be on and things like that. So can you let us know about that, Pete?
Yeah. So Sunday night, we're going to kick things off with Gigi Fernandez at 8:15 Eastern. It's going to be about playing big for your partner. And then we're also going to do a lot of live streams this year, just like we're doing a live stream today. We're going to be doing pretty much a daily live stream. And then on Saturday, next Saturday, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, we're going to end it with Saturday night and day live. So we're going to do a full day of lives on Saturday, next Saturday, to end the whole thing. Monday night, I'm going live with Will, and Monday is about the serve. Tuesday is about technique and a lot of ground stroke work. Wednesday is about either strategy or mental. Let me actually pull up Wednesday so we can look at that together, because I don't want to give any misinformation. So let me put it up there, because I forget what Wednesday is, to be honest. I always get the Wednesday and Thursday mixed up. So can you see this?
Yep, I got you. Yep.
Okay, so Wednesday is about thinking big, performing big under pressure. So it is more about a little bit of strategy. Ian Westerman from Essential Tennis is going to talk about how righties can exploit lefties and how they can exploit other righties. He uses his new awesome TV. He's on his tennis court out there. It's really well done. That was fun. Will Hamilton has a new play with the Bryan brothers called the Marshall Plan. So he unveils, is that right? Unveils a new plan. Yeah, he unveils a new plan with the Bryan brothers. This is a really cute interview. Brent, Abel, and Mai, who have now won multiple national titles together, and I think that this is not talked about enough. They talk about how to play in harmony as a mixed doubles team. Like, what are the right things to do, the wrong things to do, the right things to say, the wrong things to say. And they also give a couple of strategies that they feel work particularly well in mixed doubles. And Brent talks about when they first started to play together, Mai was a member of their club and Brent was the club pro. And Brent admits that he tried to do too much as her partner in the beginning, which actually made him play worse. But now since they've won multiple gold balls together. Gigi Fernandez is going to talk about how to beat players who are bigger, stronger, and better than you. Actually, tomorrow, be looking out. I'm going to show a highlight film of Gigi playing Martina Navratilova at the semifinals of Wimbledon, to where she almost pulled the upset. And we're going to look at one game in particular where Gigi was just awesome. So she's going to talk about that. This is Tina. She actually played for the Georgia Bulldogs, NCAA champion and a lefty. So she's going to, since we talked about being a righty, we're going to talk about how to play better as a lefty. These guys are really good. I don't know if you've seen Sports Ed TV, but this right here is John Eagleton and Ellis Ferrer. Now, John used to play on the tour. Ellis, he was like one of the sleeper best doubles players in the world. In the late 90s, you take a look at what he was doing. Late 90s, early 2000s, he played with Rick Leach and they won a Grand Slam together. They got to the finals and they lost to Hewitt and Murney at the US Open. He got to a quarterfinals, I think, of the French Open, a semifinals of Wimbledon. He's a great doubles player, but so he talks about doubles volley tips for different surfaces, like saying, hey, when you go to a different surface, you want to be playing different volleys, which is really neat. And they also do a lot of modern game stuff at TennisCon. They have about 4 presentations, and he talks about how, and like, you should go look this match up. Look up Hewitt and Murney versus Leach and Ellis Ferrer at the US Open. This dude is a baller, and their points are amazing. And this guy hits rockets for forehands. He crushes both the forehand and the backhand, actually crushes the ball. But he said if he would have the modern technique now that he actually has picked up from watching the modern pros, and he gives a lesson on it and shows how to do it, he said he would have been a much better player on the tour. He thinks he could have done way better at singles if he would have had the technique he has now at 50. So he picked all this up over the age of 45, which is kind of cool.
Any relation to Wayne Ferreira? Sorry about
that. No. Big poaching. This is a USPTA Master Pro. There's not many in the world. And this is Pat Whitworth. He's president of USPTA Georgia, or maybe even Southern. I don't know. He's been like president of like everything around here down south. He's a legend. And he does a great lesson on when and how to poach. Like, literally takes you on the court and has a bunch of arrows, and even does a little private lesson out there, and does some, like I said, these guys, they hold themselves to a high standard, these guys and ladies. They don't mail it in. He put like examples of pros when they were hitting, when they were poaching, had diagrams. Like it was super thorough. It was awesome. My buddy Matt is going to go through big numbers that matter. And then Daniel's back. Look at how long this day is. Oh my God. This is one day, guys. It's almost obnoxious how much content there is. Then it's modern strategy. There's Ellis and John again. Winning the big points. This guy's a military guy, Mark Jeffrey with Raymond Osa. And then finally we end it with Tennis Express. That's just Wednesday. That's just one day. And I'm also if you get a lifetime access pass, I also have a lot of bonuses. And it's going to be probably over, if you get the lifetime access pass, like over 100 videos for this event. And so it literally comes out to about like 67 cents a lesson. And these are lessons that if you just go pick up the phone, you probably couldn't book a lesson, or it literally, if you go to train with them for 5 days, like this is a 5-day event, it would cost you thousands of bucks. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool, Pete. And I saw some questions about, there, and I get this too, actually, but for like management of time, like what, they're asking what time do the sessions, what time are they? So can you speak to that?
Yeah. So what I do is I release all the lessons between 8 and 9 in the morning a.m. Eastern time. And then you basically have 48 hours to watch that day. And we'll also be going live every day. And so, so you have 48 hours to watch each session, to watch each day. And then we go to the next day. So when you watch Monday, you'll have till Wednesday, and we'll release them all at once. Let me actually show you a page so you can see how Monday is going to look. That's Tuesday. This is actually how it's going to look for you guys. I love the look of it this year too. I just think it looks slick, and
it does.
Okay. So this is actually one of my top 5 here. This is in my top 5. This is Jeff Saldenstein, Kick Bigger and Better. Gives a very thorough 22 minutes, 44-second lesson on the kick serve. And he said that he's put new stuff in this video that he's never put anywhere else, because he just, as coaches, we pick up new thoughts. We pick up new ideas. Everybody knows what a kick serve is, but as coaches, we keep teaching different things differently as we learn more, and we work with our students and experiment and go, oh, this is even a better tip than I've ever said before that got this result. So this lesson was incredible by Jeff, and it's in my top 5. And then you can learn more from him by clicking here. You can get a lifetime access pass at any time by clicking there. And you can basically go, like, if you're going through this going, all right, that's it. This is awesome. I want to have this lesson forever. You basically sign up and you get all the lessons. So this is how Monday looks. That's what you're going to see. You're going to get an email, and you click out to it, and you get 40 hours to watch this day. Does that make sense?
Awesome. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. We have quite a few questions here coming in. Do you want me to?
Yeah, let's keep going with questions. This call is really about you guys to make sure you know how TennisCon works.
Got it. Are there any lessons on how to play lobbers? I know I have one on how to hit lobs. Do we have any on lobbers or anything?
Yes. Wednesday, Daniel from Hammer at Tennis it's gonna be the grinder blueprint. It's gonna be how to beat lobbers and
perfect
put counter punchers and all of that. Yes.
Very nice. Very nice. Let's see. So I mean, maybe we could tie this into TennisCon, but Live in Tennis or Live in Tennis asks, tell us some plan A, plan B, plan C in a tennis match, how to open up avenues in a match.
Yeah. I mean, it's just so many expert talks that I'm going to leave it to them. And we go through all of that kind of stuff, strategy, and so there's just so much good stuff that I actually will just leave it to all our presenters next week.
Yeah, and it depends on a lot of things, like what type of game you're playing and your style and everything. But there's going to be a lot of this stuff for sure in TennisCon 4. So
yeah. So I've shown you, Jeff. Oh, ask another question.
Oh, sure. Let's see.
If there is one.
Well, once Edmund asks, what should you focus on first or most to work out your opponent's weaknesses?
What should you work on first or most to work on your opponent's weaknesses?
Yeah.
I can answer that. Jorge, who's actually in my top 5. Okay, so another one of my top 5, and I'm going to show you that screen here in a second. In one of the presentations, where you can actually get all 4 tennis cons if you want when you get your lifetime access pass. I think it was last year, the year before. He talked about when you get out on the court, start hitting different heights and different spins and start making a little checklist and grading your opponent. Like on from A to F, how do they hit the ball when it's up here above their shoulders? How do they hit it when it's below the knees? How do they hit it at the waist? Grade them on the forehand. Grade them on the backhand. Notice if you hit the ball down the middle, do they move to one side or the other, and keep favoring that side consistently? Like, use the warm-up. And John Newcomb, who also gave a video for TennisCon a while back and part of our Legends course, he talked about the same thing. It's like the warm-up is this test and make little notes to yourself. But I think the biggest one is like grade your opponent from A to F and rather than thinking about you having to play amazing tennis, think about what they don't like and make them play bad tennis.
That's right. Love it. So will we get emails, Pete, notifying us of the sessions?
Okay. Yes. First of all, and let me come back for this because I really want to. Okay. I want to address the audience, Mehrban. I want to address the audience for this.
Sure.
So, first of all, yes, you are going to get emails every day letting you know when we've released our sessions, letting you know when we're going to go live. You're going to get a lot of emails. Okay, you're going to get emails asking you to upgrade to the lifetime access pass. This is the way we communicate. This is the best way I can communicate. I'm not going to be calling you on the phone. I'm not going to be leaving you a ton of text messages. So I know that emails sometimes can be annoying, but it's definitely not as annoying as like someone calling you all the time or anything like that. So yes, you're going to get emails. You're going to get a lot of emails. But it's the way that we talk and let you guys know what's going on all week. Another thing that I have, which I'm going to add back into the stream, like if you sign up and you get yourself a lifetime access pass and you don't know you don't get your user and password or whatever, you can email me, you can text me, and you can even leave me a question. Like this guy, Frank, gave me a question. And I actually come back on video and answer the question for you. So I want to make sure that I know sometimes you can be wondering, you can be insecure, like, well, what if I sign up for this pass? Am I actually going to get to access the material? And what if I forget my user and my password and all this stuff? Like, I'm a real person. I'm literally talking to people. Another person who left me a message today, this is a TennisCon all-star himself. And
Peter, what's up, brother?
I responded to him today.
And bags under my eyes, not a lot of sleep.
Oh, man.
So anyway, so you can leave me an audio message, a video message. I'm totally there to help you guys.
Love it. Great stuff. And yes, so this was a preview, but Live in Tennis asked, he asked, what does Scott and Nate from Player Court present on?
They talk about hitting the ball heavy and how hitting the ball heavy is different than hitting the ball hard. And that hitting the ball heavy, lots of times will set up your winners, and they give you a great lesson, great drills, great instruction on how to hit the ball heavy, particularly on the forehand side.
Perfect. How long are the sessions available to view again afterwards?
When you get a lifetime access pass, you have lifetime access to it. You get to view it forever. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
And actually, while we're on that, Mehrban, I believe today, and I don't know if you can put your link in there or not, or maybe you can email people after we get off, but I understand that if people buy a lifetime access pass from you today, that you are going to be giving away a really cool bonus.
That's right,
just
Pete.
people who are on this call.
That's right, Pete. And Pete, I did message message you privately if you want to put it in the banner, but if not, no problem. But yeah, so for everybody who is going to get the lifetime all access pass, which is unbelievable value, and it's something that you can go to anytime you want to fix any part of your game, essentially. I'm giving away my top 10 podcast interviews of all time. So as some of you may know, I host the Tennis Files podcast, and I have over 168 episodes on there with interviews from, with amazing people, Pete included. But I have scoured through them already over the past couple of days and found the best ones that I think will help you the most to advance your game. And so I'm going to provide this to you all if you get the lifetime all access pass. If you get it by midnight tonight Pacific time, then you'll be able to access the bonus. And yeah, I mean, some of the people who are going to be included in it are Dr. Mark Kovacs, Dr. Todd Ellenbecker, Jeff Salzenstein, Paul Anacone, Johan Creek, Rick Macy, Dr. Greg Rose, Nick Bollettieri, Michael Russell, Taylor Dent. These are all amazing people. I've named pros there and people who have coached like amazing players. And so, yeah, you'll get these, and we go in depth about strategy, the mental game, fitness, and a lot of other topics, obviously. But again, this is exclusive to if you get the lifetime all access pass today, before midnight Pacific time, and you can get it at the link's on the screen. So tennisfiles.com/tenniscon4 AAP. So
okay, yeah. So write that down, guys, and if you do that, then Mehrban will hook you up with those bonuses. And that was quite a list. I mean, I remember Taylor Dent. He was kind of like the original Andy Roddick. No, that was, you know what? Actually, you know who the original, well, there was Roscoe Tanner and Steve Dent. Steve Dent was Taylor's father.
Yeah.
And Steve Dent had a bullet of a serve, but he must have taught that serve to Taylor, obviously, because then Taylor was like serve Steve Dent 2.0. His serve was even bigger than Steve Dent's serve. And so that was a lot of cool people you mentioned there.
Thank you. Yeah. It's really cool to be able to speak with all of them. And obviously you have great connections with people like these as well, many of them that I named. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I think you'll really learn a lot from it. So if you get the lifetime all access pass, which again is like an awesome deal, you're getting like over 40 lessons plus Pete's bonuses also, and then my bonus with the top 10 podcast interviews. It's definitely great value.
Yeah. I'll show you guys my bonuses at the end there, but that's good stuff. I did want to. I think I've talked about 2 or 3 of my top 5. Here's another one. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it. You could maximize it when you're ready.
Okay. This is Jorge Capistani, and what I want you guys to understand about Jorge Capistani is, I mean, it's hard to say because so many people are just amazing coaches at TennisCon. I don't want to say, but he's arguably the best coach I've ever heard talk. He's
really good.
He's a master USPTA and PTR pro. So if you've never heard or seen his presentations, you've got to watch this. I believe it's on Thursday, and it's 10 tips for mental toughness. And it's totally will help you for tennis, but it's like a life talk. Like as I was listening to it, and you can see this is 1 hour and 21 minutes. He got on a roll for like 10 minutes where I'm like, I would pay $67 just to hear these 10 minutes because he tied it into tennis and life, and just like it was just speaking to me and like some of my strengths and weaknesses, more weaknesses than strengths, and how to deal with it. And I was just blown away going, man, this guy is really a master. Like he really is a master. And he's the only tennis coach who's ever been the pro of the year for the USPTA and PTR.
Wow.
He's been the pro of the year for both, and he holds a master certification in both.
In the same year?
I'm not sure if he went the same year, but he told me, and Jorge does not brag. He told me, he's like, yeah, because I was asking about all his credentials and things so I could introduce him for our talk. I mean, I already knew a lot, but he's like, Yeah, and I think I'm the only one who's ever won Pro of the Year in both. Now that might have been for. I mean, I would not be surprised if he did it in the same year, because like he goes above and beyond. You can see right here, this one lesson is an hour and 21 minutes, and I know that maybe for some of you go, man, I don't have time to watch that. Well, first of all, you should get the lifetime access pass, but second of all, it's so darn good that this whole interview I went with him flew by, and I was just like, every word he said, I was like, well, this guy is freaking, like, he is a real master. So it's really great presentation. Yeah, definitely my top 5 by far.
He's awesome.
Another one in my top 5. Let me go to Tuesday. You know, I find that there's great coaches who can't really hit a great tennis ball. And then there's great players who can't really coach great. And then there is these guys. Let me get, God, Tuesday's massive. Then there's these guys.
Top tennis. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Top tennis training. This lesson is awesome. And it talks about how to hit big offense while still being consistent. And it's Simon just looking amazing on the court and giving you guys a really thorough lesson. He's so good. He like really takes you step by step. Let me just play the intro. And then Mehrban always let me know if it played well for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Hey everyone, Simon here with Top Tennis Training, and welcome to TennisCon 2020. In this video, we're going to show you how to become a more consistent but aggressive baseliner. So the first part of the lesson will show you exactly how to build that consistency. Next, we'll show you how to build points using high percentage patterns of play. And finally, we'll show you how to take time away from your opponents by hitting the ball on the rise, reducing the risk on your side, but increasing the risk of unforced errors for your opponent. So let's first get into how to build that consistency.
It's so good. I just love this event because I just love tennis. I mean, I'm just like a kid in a candy store getting all these things and then watching them going, oh my God, this is so good. And, you know, Simon, I think he played on the tour for a little bit, tried the tour. His partner, Alex, actually played, I think, every single Grand Slam tournament except for maybe the French. And I could be wrong on that. I mean, I know he played 3 out of 4. I just don't remember what the 4th one he did not play. And you can look at their channel, and Alex has been a hitting partner for Federer and the Bryan brothers. And I mean, so many of the pros. He basically was like, when they played the year-end championship at the O2 Arena, he was one of the main hitting partners for literally the top, 8 or 10 players in the world. So they're really, really good. Really good. They're one of my favorites. Big fan. Alex and Simon.
Yeah, I saw one of them hitting with Federer one day.
Yeah, that was Alex.
Yeah, so that's a pretty good indication.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then my last, I think I've done 4 now. My 5th, let me see if I can find it. And I'll put it back into the stream. This will be my 5th, and then we'll talk about any questions you guys have, or and I'll also walk you through the sales page if you guys did want to get the lifetime and what my bonuses are. I'll walk you through my bonuses. This is Dr. Mark Kovacs, and he actually, when we did this interview, he was working with the Cleveland Cavaliers. So he's there training the Cleveland Cavaliers. And then he was nice enough. I think he's going to be live with us next week too. He's actually going to, super nice guy. He's obviously busy enough, but he's going to do a live stream with us next week. And he goes through all these amazing exercises that you can do to get stronger, faster, like how to build the big muscles to hit bigger balls is what he talks about. You know, how to hit big, how to be working on the right muscles so you get more power, but keep your flexibility and keep your speed and explosion. And here he is working with Francis Tiafoe. And I actually recognize this. This is at the Atlanta Open. I would usually be somewhere up here watching the practice court. So just imagine, like, this is where Pete hangs out at the BB&T. I get up here in the parking lot and I just watch all these amazing players come in. And there's Mark working with Francis. So there's proof. We keep telling you that Mark Kovacs works with all the top players, especially American players, and here he is. So let's see if...
Find difference between doing an exercise and doing it correctly. And that's the biggest challenge you have with a lot of players. They'll do an exercise and they'll think they're doing it right, but they're not actually optimizing the movement. So focus areas for tennis. Where do we need to focus? So resistance training, first and foremost, comes to mind. And resistance training takes many forms. So the top example here is a couple 100-pound deadlift, which for some athletes may be really heavy and for some athletes may be somewhat light. But again, the goal here is we got to get leg strength. We got to have great technique while we're doing it. And we've got to be able to then utilize that strength. But if we only do the top type video without the bottom video, you're only going to get strong, but you're not necessarily going to get strong in the motions and planes that we need on a tennis court. So the bottom video is a much more similar movement than many of you would realize, because that's a wide forehand for a lefty. It could be a wide backhand for a righty. It's setting up that lunge position for a volley. There's a lot of scenarios where you can see that bottom video is applicable. The top video, many of you may say, I don't exactly see the direct relationship between that and hitting a tennis ball, but that's pure leg strength and that's getting strong in that lower body. So we incorporate both aspects in the training program, and you should as well. And again, assuming that you've done your screening, you've done your testing, you understand the strengths and opportunities. That's why it's important to make sure you don't just copy exercises online. You actually get a personalized program, because both these exercises are great. I would say I use both of these with 85 to 90% of all the athletes we work with, but there are 15 to 20% that I want, depending on prior injury history, depending on goals, depending on what other issues are going on. So you have to make sure you don't just copy these exercises, but you actually get a appropriate program for your strengths and opportunities.
Good
so
stuff.
good. So good.
Yeah. And I love how, I'm glad I caught it at that point too, because it showed the exercises and maybe you shouldn't be doing that.
Sorry, Pete, can you say that again?
Can you say that again? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I just paused for a second.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm glad that that we actually heard that part where he talks about screening and testing and personalized programs, because I'm sure some of you are watching that video going, man, that's really good. I want to go do that. Like, he did so many great exercises. He shows a lot of examples of working with the pros and exercise that we can do to get better as tennis players. And there's a lot of it where you're going, oh, I want to go do that. And then there's some of it going, man, I'm not doing that. Like the deadlift, the way she was lifting that deadlift, I'm going, my back would be ripped in half, you know? And so he talks about the importance of making sure that you test, that you do screening and testing to know what are the right exercises for you personally be doing, what are the correct modifications to do. And I think the two biggest mistakes we make as people, athletes, tennis players, is we either do things that we shouldn't be doing because, like he said, there's 20% of athletes he'd work with. It's like, I'm not doing that exercise with you because it's dangerous, right? So there's players who do things they shouldn't be doing just based off, oh, that looks good, and that I want to do that. I hear that strengthens X, Y, or Z. And then there's other people who probably baby themselves too much and go, I'm this age and I can't afford to be doing that, you know, and then when you go out there and you go to play battle, that's why you have 3 or 4 things covering your elbows and your knees and a back brace and a this and a that, because you're not doing the right work off the court. You know, we do lose muscle mass over 40, Mehrban, even though you don't know that yet, jerk, but we do. And it's important to keep strengthening yourself and to do the right things. And you know, one thing through teaching tennis online, because I've met so many players obsessed with tennis. I mean, I've met so many players who are like 3-5 players and they're 65, 70 years old. And they probably don't believe this because they're there to take a lesson from me. But the whole weekend I'm going, this person's my hero. Like, I cannot believe how fit they are. They're like 65, 70 years old. They're so fit. They're so healthy. They're so strong. They're still so fast. And it's because they treat their body like a temple. They're into the science. They're studying all this stuff at TennisCon, and then they're living it. And so it's really important to get all this great information that we have at TennisCon and then figure out, how does it apply to my life? And what's the next step I need to do? Mark Kovacs just showed me about 20 amazing exercises at TennisCon. I want to do them all, but let me be smart. Let me actually go see a trainer and get tested and figure out what are the right things for me to do.
Yeah. Can't agree more. I mean, that's a mistake that people make. They'll watch somebody do exercises and they'll just copy it, but they don't take state of like their body, what they need to improve. You know, if you just copy somebody else and you're not maximizing your potential, you could get hurt. A lot of different things. Everybody has different levels of mobility and things like that. So love it.
Yeah. So I think I showed you all 5 of my favorite, but really, guys, I mean, I had to pick 5, but don't be sleeping on any of these. One thing, when I do this, and I'm telling you, and even as I'm talking, I don't know if you guys can see it, I literally get goosebumps, like, because it just blows me away that every year people agree to do this with me, to where I'm like, okay, like Gigi Fernandez is going to go live with me on Sunday night. This is like crazy. Like, you know, and the thing is that I learn every year more than the tennis is I really understand what greatness is, because all these people who are so busy take such pride in everything they do that when they hand over a lesson to me or they go live, I'm like, they went all in. Like this is about TennisCon 4 is about going big. I'm like, they went big. They just didn't hand over some slop. Like, they really spent a lot of time and thought on this. And that's what's so awesome about it. It's like we have over 40 videos just with TennisCon. Then we got bonuses, which I'll share with you here in a second. But they're all really, really, really good. Like, I'm so proud of it. And it's just awesome to be a part of.
Yeah, 100%. Jack wants a TennisCon 4 t-shirt. Are you selling those? What's going on with those?
I should, you know what? I'll try and figure out something we could do fun next week to give away shirts or something. And then some year I have to figure out how to sell them. But TennisCon 4 is such an undertaking. Like, Mehrban goes, "What's going on in your life?" I'm like, TennisCon 4. Like, that's like, there is no other news. Like, this is consuming me. I went to bed last night at 12 at night, and I got up at 4:30 in the morning. So there is no other what's going on with you, Pete, when TennisCon's on. It's just TennisCon 24/7, which I know Mehrban can relate to that, because that's what he does when he does the tennis summit.
Yeah, it's huge work.
Yeah,
big shout out to you, Pete.
Thank you. This is the page. Remember, you can look at Mehrban's link. Please buy from his link today. So you can get his bonuses and just support him. But so you get lifetime access to everything. You get your user and password. When you purchase, you should be sent an email. Like, you'll purchase, and you'll also be given some bonus options if you want to pick. And once you're done, you should get a page that says user and password information has been sent to your email. And so you basically should have everything set up automatically, where all you got to do is click the link and plug in your user and password. People who are emailing me, I asked, how does it work? Most people are saying it works perfectly. I got my user and my password. Some people, for whatever reason, maybe they don't see the email. Maybe the system doesn't do it right. I don't know. It's hard to tell what happens. Some people say, I don't get my user and password, just email me. believe me, I'll get you in. There's no trying to pull the wool over your eyes or, pull the banana, I'm not trying to pull any tricks here. That's what I'm saying. I spent like a whole year putting this together. You also get these bonus things. You get the lifetime access to the Power Secrets video book, which one of my friends from England, Gordon, who supports Crunch Time Coaching, he said he's already been through this video book twice. He loves it. It's 31-minute tips to where you can basically boost your forehand, your backhand, your serve, your overhead, 5 to 15 miles an hour. These are basically tips through teaching from pretty much the time I've been 18 years old to now I'm going to be 48 next month. These are things where I'm like, oh, my student just had an aha moment. Like this works like 90% of the time. And I put them into this video book and they're just 1 to 2 minute tips. So you can consume them quick, understand them fast, and then go try it the same day. And right now you have till the 24th to watch them all, but it's going to live inside TennisCon. Also, I want to explain my 30-day No Man Left Behind challenge, which is really cool. The thing that would be a shame for me, really heartbreaking when I think about it, is I don't want this to collect internet dust. I don't want it to be where like, oh, I never really got to watch everything. So every day for 30 days, you're going to get an email with 1 to 3 lessons to where you can watch TennisCon and really take your time. Because right now it's like drinking out of a fire hydrant, getting the 48-hour pass for free. It's drinking expert coaching out of a fire hydrant. Well, this 30-day challenge just kind of lets us slow down, watch and consume videos, and really digest it all so you can really get the value out of it. And then also, you're going to be able to send me, remember how I showed you that video ask earlier? You can send me videos of your serve, of your forehand. I don't even know how much of value. I don't know anybody else who would really do this, frankly.
That's crazy.
But yeah, you can send me videos of your forehand, your back, and your serve. You can say hello to me. You can ask me questions because it's fun. I'll go back to that at the end just because I just love that platform. And it's certainly not about the money because I spent countless hours in there. Top 10 live streams. Just like this live stream, we do so many lesson live streams. And so I took out, and you're one of them, my friend. You're in the top 10, Mehrban.
Thank you.
Yours was the top 5 mistakes that USTA players make. I put that in my top 10 live streams.
Awesome.
So yeah, through working with all these experts, we go live a lot, and I picked out my 10 favorite. I also picked out, since I'm not at the ranch this year, the best at the ranch. And like we've got interviews with Laver and Newcomb and Mark Woodford and Johan Creek and Mark Philippoussis and Rod Laver. It's awesome. And we got them playing points and matches. Michael Pernforce, who got to the finals of the French Open and won 2 NCAA doubles tournaments, or 2 NCAA University of Georgia Bulldog NCAA championships. He's like the new Mansour Barami. We've got him doing trick shots. It's really awesome. And so that's basically what it works. Right now, you got the free 48-hour pass if you have the pass. But depending on if you just signed up, you have a half hour to get it for 67. If not, it jumps up to the 97. And then you get all these days forever. So make sure you get Mehrban's link. What's your bonus again, Mehrban?
Yeah, so it's my top 10 podcast interviews of all time, and again, it's with some amazing people like Dr. Mark Kovacs, Paul Anaconio, and Creek, Rick Macy, Nick Bollettieri, Michael Russell, Taylor Dent. So we're gonna go in depth, on technique, strategy, fitness, and the mental game, and you get that. You get all those 10 interviews that I looked through all of them, like all 168 of them, and found the best ones for you. And so if you sign up before midnight tonight Pacific time, then you'll get them. So I'd hop on.
One thing that's kind of interesting, we've been on over an hour and we didn't even get through all 5 days. Just talking about it. Like you mentioned Rick Macy. Rick Macy is part of TennisCon 4. I did a great interview with him and he was so cool. He said after the interview, it's like, I'm in every year, brother. Just count me in. So it's like, that's the kind of people we have. It's really cool. And yeah. So good stuff.
Love it.
Any questions before we let Mehrban go back to his other job?
That's right. I'm looking. I mean, there's some like more, tennis questions.
Okay.
I'm not sure how much you want to go into those.
Yep.
You are the slice serve master, though.
What's that?
Are there any tips? Are there any tips for using the slice serve in doubles, especially left-handers?
Oh, well, yeah. So that's a good question for me. And my talk is actually on, I'm doing a serve lesson on the slice, which is my favorite shot. And so, first of all, I love on the ad side, like I'll just stand pretty much almost out in the doubles alley. I'll stand right on the single sideline because I don't care if they know that I'm going out wide. It's such a great serve to get people out wide so that your partner can get a lot of balls. Like it's hard for them to get that shot over across their shoulders if you really get it out wide. I mean, you have to watch their line, but when you see the opponent stretching and barely able to touch it, they're not going to try and hit a winner down the line because they're barely getting it. So, your partner, I think that's one of the things that maybe is a little bit not the best coaching. Like, make sure you really cover your line when you see the ball go out wide. Well, it's like, yeah, if you see them getting there and they get their footing under them, then watch your line a little more. But if you see them barely struggling to get there, believe me, they're trying to, at all costs, to avoid that net person. They're trying to hit a lob. They're trying to somehow get it by, and cross the middle and cross court. And lots of times they're not able to do it. So it gives your partner a really good chance at poaching. And then make sure, just so you can almost do this all day long, is make sure that you also have a really good into the body slice serve so that you can basically just run those two plays the whole match, really almost exclusively, without even having to worry about another serve as a lefty. And you'll be bringing them off into the fence. And then when you bring that ball into the body, trust me, those righties are going to be like, oh, I finally get a forehand. So they're going to set up for a forehand. It's going to keep cutting into their gut. And even though they should probably take it as a backhand, they're still going to try and hit it as a forehand. And that's when you really, really got them. So, yeah, have fun with that, fellow lefty.
Yeah, lucky lefty. Cool. That might be it as far as questions.
Yeah.
I think. Well, there is one about like, it's interesting. If you're up, some pros say if you're down love 40 or up 40 love, you can play the next point very aggressively. Like, do you think that's correct?
Sorry, I'm messing things up here.
Oh, I know it's okay. I hear myself, I think, or you talking or somebody.
Go ahead. I'm sorry about that. What were you saying?
Tom asked, some pros say if you're down love 40 or up 40 love to play the next point extremely aggressively. Like, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree. I think when you're down love 40, you probably have to go for a big serve to hopefully get hopefully get hot for maybe 2 serves or something. Then you get the match kind of back to even, and you can then, who's ever going to kind of play like the big nervous point better is going to do well. And then, I think it works well both ways.
Yeah, it's probably the best time, to go for something different or a bigger shot, of course, with that type of large difference in score. So
I just want to share my screen one more time.
Yeah, we just have some really nice comments. Say what? Say again?
I want to share my screen one more time.
Go for it.
Because remember how I showed you guys could send in your videos? I want to show you the kind of relation. Like, look at this. This guy, first of all, he sends me a video like almost every day. He's from Oxford. His name's Gordon, right? That's Toddy, his dog. Mrs. T is his wife. Like, this is how this app works. And he sends me lots of videos of him playing. And
hi, we love Mark Davis from Alabama. We love someone from Alabama to come out, yeah.
So he's saying he loves Mark Davis from Alabama because Mark Davis wants to go there and play him. So they might play each other. And then I respond back with my dog.
Hey, Gordo.
Wow.
So this is kind of how cool it is. That's part of the 30-day challenge, where you can send in videos and I respond to you. And so that's how that works.
That's
all right,
so
I'm
cool.
done.
Yeah, I don't think I know anybody else doing this. So this is something that's really unique and obviously amazing. Can really help your game. You're communicating one-on-one with Pete. That's really cool.
And not cost effective.
Yes, that is true.
I'm sure a lot of business coaches would come to me and go, Pete, what are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, that's
crazy.
a lot of time you're devoting, man.
Yeah, but it's fun.
Good stuff.
All right. I think they got it. I hope. Guys, you understand TennisCon and how it works, and I hope you love it. We're going to be live with Gigi on Sunday.
That's awesome. Grand Slam champs, 17 of them. That's all.
Yeah.
17.
Yeah, be looking at your email tomorrow. I'm going to send you an email on me breaking down a match that Gigi played against Martina. I might put it out later today or tomorrow. I haven't decided, but it's really cool.
Awesome, Pete.
She had
good stuff.
She had her.
Next time. I'm sure she beat her after or something.
All right, guys. Well, have a good day. And thanks so much for being part of this live stream. Mehrban, thanks for taking time out of your day. I really appreciate it.
Anytime, brother. Thank you for having me. It's always an honor. And always, like I said, great to speak with you. And I'm sure we'll be streaming again very soon in the future.
All right, my man. Take care.
Thanks, everybody. Take care.